Alright guys, today we are going to remove the water pump. It's here, and we are going to try to access the OptiSpark, which is hidden way down in here. I don't know if you can really see that or not, but it is buried way down in there. So first, get this out of the way. Second, disconnect the battery, which I've done too many times. Out of the way, we're disconnecting. Alright, I'm going to take the belt off, which is right here. Alright, belt is off. Alright, so this is the challenge. There are 6 bolts, 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. Before I drain the coolant and do all that, I'm just going to try to loosen all 6 bolts, and then I'll flush the coolant out. I want to make sure I can get this thing off of there before I get crazy. And I got my PB blaster out and sprayed these cranks as best I could. Yeah, it's hard to see it, but alright, so I got these guys loosened up. Took all the hoses off. I just gotta finish taking all the bolts out. And take this water pump off. I did spray those crank bolts with PB blaster, so I'm hoping that stuff comes off easy. I'll tell you, when you take off your water pump, this one just hemorrhaged antifreeze everywhere. We have a nice little mess down here, but what are you gonna do? Alright, that took me about an hour to do all of that. I'm hoping this water pump comes right. Alright, that was a lot of work. Took off the throttle body because I could not get the water pump out of there. I kept running the air conditioner. I lifted this up. It wouldn't matter. It started to leak out of here. When you pick it up too much, it starts to leak. So man, a lot of fucking work. But it's out. So we're gonna go with that. It's really quite filthy. I'm gonna do some cleanup here. I need to scrape these gaskets. I want to take a picture of exactly how all this is lined up. These wire from the coil, this. Dumped fucking antifreeze everywhere. I tried to do my best to minimize the mess, but not really sure I did a great job. Well, I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and I'm going to get back after it. Alright, I got the crank pulley off really easy. These bolts loosened right up. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I got the crank pulley off really easy. I am shocked. These bolts came right off. I used this one. It's a mid-size, I don't know, it's probably a foot. It's 16 mil. These 3 bolts right here, 1, 2, 3. Shockingly came right off. And then to release the pulley from here, I just used these 2 pry bars, just like this, and I just gently pried it on the OptiSpark. Very gently. It moved, and I was screwed with it for 2-3 minutes, and it came right off. I really thought I was going to have to fight that, and I'm not unhappy about it at all. So we're making great progress. Next thing I need to do is take off all of the spark plug wires and label them all. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to go top to bottom. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to number them by the cylinder numbers. And then this guy should be ready to come right off. And I can't believe how lucky I got. It's a giant friggin' mess in here, though. It needs a big cleanup. I'm not entirely sure what's leaking. I kind of think it's this valve cover gasket on the passenger side. So it doesn't look as awful over here as it does over here. And that's another day's problem. Alright, I got everything off. I have all my spark plugs labeled. Let's see if we can get this guy off here. Alright, took 3 bolts off, and that's what you're looking at right there. The OptiSpark came right out. I don't know, these seals look okay. I'm curious where all this goddamn oil's coming from. Not sure.
He was a baseball junkie. Yeah, he would set up pitchers. Sometimes sacrifice it back to set him up for the next at bat.
Oh, anyway, it's off. So here's a quick tour of everything I took off. Bunch of hoses. The crank, I marked where the top is, although this is marked here as well. I took off the belt tensioner to get it out of the way of all of the spark plug wires. Obviously the water pump came off. This is my OptiSpark. I'm going to take this cover off and look at it. That's next. I got a lot of cleaning up to do. Took off the throttle body, just moved it out of the way. And I got a whole bunch of cleaning up to do. Alright, but let's take apart the OptiSpark and make sure we can just get away with the cap and rotor and not the whole thing. Alright, I did not have any external torque sockets. It's this tiny little one here. I don't know, it's impossible to read, but it's the tiny little one. I got 4 bolts out. I'll take this guy off. It really doesn't look awful. I guess they're a little fouled. I was kind of expecting it to be worse, to be honest with you. But it is what it is, and you just keep going. So now these ones are torques to take this guy off here. Well, I don't have the right torques for that. These things are fucking tiny. So, I guess I'm done for the day. I also pulled off the PCV valve. Let me get a new one of these while I'm at it. And that guy comes from right here. So I took this off of here. This goes like that. Just try to leave it like that. This guy goes like this, underneath it, and that goes on top. I still got a lot of work to do, but I think I'm pretty happy with my progress. And since there's nothing left I can do, I'm done. We'll clean all this shit up tomorrow. And go to the parts store and order up all these parts.